Good morning, everybody. It's Tom with Outside Our Lane. Walking out of Corey's right now. Meet up with Stephen Rogers, and I think Jared Murphy's going to be down here this morning. We got something planned for coral timbering off the woods there. It's really, really big. Anyway, we got something planned for bear season this year. Steve Knapp's arrows and Bill's traditional arrows. So Corey and I are going to attempt to take a bear with a stone tip and traditional arrow. There's several people that's taken bear with stone tip, but don't know of anyone who has taken a bear with a handmade arrow. I may be completely wrong on that. We don't know of anyone. Do know of a couple people personally that has taken bear with stone tips. Talked to a guy the other day at the Shooting magazine. He had killed a bear with a stone point about 25 years ago, and then Clay Newcomb killed one last year with a stone point. I'm sure there's other people that's done it, but I don't know if anyone's done it on camera. So we're going to attempt to do that this year. If y'all know of anyone who's killed a bear, several people have done it with deer. I mean, there's a lot of people who's killed deer with them. But if y'all know of anyone that's killed one with a stone point, a bear, comment down below. I really would like to know. All right, y'all stick with us. We'll take you through the process of some of this stuff. Well, Eli is hooked up. We got it here clanking, Coco. Several different ways.
I've got it set line.
What kind of spurs you got? All right.
I would have expected. That's the arrow there? No. That's the one that I thought to get out of there, bro.
The process has begun here. These are cane arrows that Steve's built here. Stone points he's napped. This is one of the arrows here. This is a cane shaft here. How much time went into this one arrow, you think?
About 10 hours.
It's pretty.
By the other door, you trip over it like a trailer hitch. So that's about the same size there. They're pretty close. But see, these get
tuning that arrow now.
Well, maybe not. About the same. They'll be pretty close, and even if you get them the right size, all the same size, they won't be the same spine weight.
Right.
So you've really got to just get them straight, put a knock on them, and start shooting them.
Is it not enough meat in there? Or?
Oh, that's plenty.
Okay, you just shove a dowel in there, don't you?
Yeah, I have little wooden dowels, and I'll take on an actual primitive, I'll use hide glue to mash the plug in, and then I cut everything in, and the plug won't be but about that long. And the same thing on this end, it's got a little plug about like that. just to make sure there's no void underneath the knock area. But yeah, those are ready. You do your initial heat straightening just the way it is, and then you'll come through and knock off the knuckles off of it with just a knife. I come through and I'll take those off, and then I'll straighten it again, and then I'll do some sanding, and then do the final straightening after it's sanded.
You straighten them with heat?
Yeah, yeah. I just build a fire in the living room, and I use a modern day heat gun. So I'll just sit there watching a movie on the floor with a heat gun and rotate it over it. And if it's really bad, I'll use a piece of tongue and groove, and if it's got a bad bow in one area, I can put it in there and clamp it down until it cools. If it's really bad, I can put a couple of pieces of string around that and create more of a back bend to it, and use a clamp and hold it in, so I'm not having to sit there for 10 minutes holding it. But then if you try to sand these knocks off before you do your first straightening, you'll break it almost every time. So you've got to do your initial straightening, take the knuckles off, do another straightening, get it even more straight, and then you can do your finished sanding to get them nice and smooth so that they're not clipping across your riser.
What are you looking for when you're getting your cane initially? Are you looking for the diameter more than you are the straightness, or?
Pretty much diameter at the base. And in length, I want something that's about 5 foot long, because if I can get a larger diameter at the base, I know somewhere in that 5 foot section I can take out a 29-inch section of cane that will be about right. It may be right at the base, it may be all the way up at the end, or anywhere in between. There will be a section that is pretty close to what I need.
What he's doing right now is Corey's shooting the arrows over here, and then he's tuning them according to how they're shooting. And this one's, it says a little bit heavy, so he's knocking some more weight off of it just by scraping.
You ready to give that one a try?
Here's that one he's just working on.
That one right there will be,
Completely 100%
that one's fine.
handmade from end to end. Stone point.
That one sounded really good. That one you just like a dart.
Let me get that other one and I'll do the same scraping on it.
So he's got that one now where he wants it.
5 or 25 or something like that.
10 yards, he was in the 2-inch bullseye, and that's where you want to be for shooting game.
So do you want to node closer to the knock, or
Same arrow again.
should I come down right here?
Just a hair right, but that's me. It wasn't there. Hair full strength.
Right there, I would still wrap around that node,
Right,
just
yeah.
because it will split right through it.
Oh, yeah.
Murph's got a arrow. How long was your cane dried, Murph?
I'll probably cut this back in June, middle of June probably.
Cane don't take as long as it does wooden shafts, does it?
No, and I just bundled them up and set them on the porch. And just prayed that I had something that were gonna work.
Steve was just saying that we do things opposite now than what they used to. So he's tuning these arrows to that bow. This is a self bow that Murph made. Osage. Once you get your bow made in the initial tuning, then you tune your arrows to the bow then. Whereas in modern bows, you tune your bow to shoot your arrow.
It wasn't as bad, was it? It didn't look like you got it back.
Okay, that arrow was low and right. He'll shoot it one more time to see if there's consistency in it.
Not many other people are doing it. You end up with arrows this big. Like we do, just trying it out. We could get a bunch of people that did this together.
See, that's in there. It's in there closer.
Right, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's just a little more.
Well, the day's officially started. I'm bleeding. We're getting stuff done now. I told him, I said the day's officially started. I'm bleeding.
Shoot it one more time and check it out. You can't shoot an arrow once and assume that whatever you get is what you get. See, he's got the third place there. He's taking some more off that arrow now. Does it matter what side?
Yeah, I typically set these to where when you're knocked up, the arrow is, the point is setting up and down. And I will take off on each side of that because that is where, as it's setting in the bow, it's going to flex this way. So I will take off on each side of that and leave the top and bottom untouched. But as far as one side or the other, what we're doing really doesn't matter as long as it flies straight.
As long as the fletching does its job.
Yep. In the end, with primitive, it really doesn't matter if they all look the same, if they're all the same length, all the same diameter, as long as they all shoot where you want them to. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's nice to have them all nice and even. It satisfies an OCD itch we have.
Kind of sharp too. Let me apply everything up this time every time.
It's funny because you can glider right here and right here.
Okay. Same arrow. He's relatively in the same spot, so that means that the arrow is getting closer to being tuned.
I don't guess it takes very much
Donated that one. Tune the arrow to the bow.
It's still a little stiff.
Okay, he's going to tune this arrow from starting the beginning. Right now he's just doing some knock work before Corey shoots the first time to see how it performs, but he's got to get it to fit the string, right? So that's what he's doing right now, just working on the knock. And like he said earlier, there above that node on that cane, he's inserted some small dowels, pegs, to make that all solid and sturdy things up. Did you put adhesive in there with it?
Yes. I use Tight Bond glue. For a real primitive arrow, we would just use hide glue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
left, right's fine.
That arrow there has not been tuned yet. He just got the, is that the one he just working on the knock?
Yeah, got that one.
That's one we filmed a second ago where he was working on the knock. Okay, this is the one he was just working on the knock here. Arrow's not been tuned.
There's a fair chance it's gonna lay you open somewhere. It's actually a concern.
Okay, so they've got the arrows tuned, and now he's gonna. I assume you're gonna tune some of them points now, get them sharpened up, and just kind of go through what the process of knapping.
I can sharpen one and then we can go through.
If you want to do the process of knapping first, then that'll make more sense.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Find something to start with here. All my stuff set out.
All right, we've got Steve tuning the arrows to the bows. Now he's gonna show the process, rough process, and we ain't got 8 hours to finish one like it would take to do. How many hours does it take to finish a point? Like you like it?
Probably a couple of hours.
So that's not bad.
It's not, unless you're just really into it, it's not a spectator sport. I'll sit and watch somebody nap for a couple of hours.
Oh. Well, he's gonna go through the process of how you get one started, and then into the talking about the final stages one, and maybe after a while we'll get the end of finishing one, because
Yeah, we'll get it started anyway. This is a piece of cooked novaculite. We'll get a close up of the colors of it.
that's pretty. I've got some arrowheads. I think that's probably what they're made out of.
A lot of them around here are. It comes in white, black, pink.
Pinkish colors, what we
Blue.
find a lot.
Yeah. Well, you'll start with a lot of the times just a flake that's been cooked. This one's been worked a little bit. It's had some pieces taken off of it. But we're going to take it just a little bit further. First thing I want to do is get some of that thickness out of the base. I'm seeing a good ridge right there. It's got a good angle, so I'm gonna build that up just a little bit and see if I can take a flake off right there and thin this base down some. That may irritate a lot of people. They don't like that noise.
This is my favorite. What's the purpose of what you're doing right there?
I'm strengthening up that little point right there. If I try to hit it when it's too weak, it'll start crushing and forming little fractures right along the edge, and that's going to stop my flake from traveling as far as I want it to. I want it to go a little over halfway to try to start thinning this. Gosh, it's hot. So I've just strengthened that. That's what's called a platform. I've strengthened that right there where it'll take a pretty good hit without crumbling. And now I'll turn it around and I want to hit and take this off right there. Didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do, but it's okay. We've got some material off. I've got another one right here. I can try to take a bit more.
Crazy how sharp that is.
Were you telling me that in what you studied that a lot of the times when they would skin an animal, they would take the flakes like that rather than a finished knife and use those super sharp flakes
Yeah.
as tools?
Yeah, they would use use every little piece they could around here because all we have is sandstone. You've got to go to the hot springs area for the vaculi, or 60 miles north of here for chert. You can find a little bit of river chert along the Arkansas River, but it's usually pretty small stuff. But the premium stuff is not in this area, and it was kind of costly to get here. I mean, you had to walk up and bring it back by hand.
So if you find an arrowhead down here, it's some premium stuff that Rocky moved in, and it was
Yeah, it was traded or they went and got it somehow. That come off there. Now I've set up another one right here. Let's see, what's my chances of that? I might have a pretty good chance of following this ridge right here. Shallow. There we go.
He's saying Steve.
So that happens.
That's the wonders of knapping right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I tried to get greedy. I had a good ridge right here and I wanted to take it. But I had a lot of this area right here was a little too weak to do that. So as soon as the shock came down and hit that area, it started from right here and broke the piece because I got a little greedy on it. So we'll try another one. There's 2 points there now. All right, so I'm just gonna try to. I'm gonna get into it. Start doing. If somebody's got a question, just ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep going. Try to put stuff back together so you can see what it actually did. We took all of that now. Then I'm pretty good. Try to take that little piece right there. Most of it. So here's that artifact that has that flat edge on it. Looks very similar.
Yeah.
That is very difficult to knap, so what we do is a zigzag pattern. Come in and I'll take my lower edge and I'll take a flake off this way. And that gives me a sharp edge. And now it's turned my point, my 90-degree edge closer this way. So I'll turn it over and I'll take another one back that way. Now my edge is over here. So I'll flip it over. I'll take one back that way. And what I'm doing is I'm processing this flat 90-degree edge and turning it into this zigzag pattern. Just like that. So that's where he was at. And he went, you know what? I'm tired. Put it down.
That's crazy.
When all it would have taken. That right there to keep going.
Give me time though. I need to go to the other side.
Okay, bud. The ultimate goal with this is to send that piece of rock right there through a bear. And right now you can see kind of what it looks like, and we'll come back in a little bit when it gets a little bit more finished look to it, a little bit more deeper into the process. Stick with us. Okay, he's been going, what, half an hour?
Yeah.
Well, I called my
About that.
storage building guy about my storage building drum. I said, look, I'm running with a little bit of blending here. You see, my wife has got way more stuff than I thought she did.
Oh, yeah. He thought it was.
I was going to see if I could trade sheds, you know, just move up to a bigger shed. I can't. Let's move up to $300 to move it, for him to come get that shed and bring it up.
Did you bring it while they,
Truck. This
It's
truck
starting to,
little,
you can see the form now. It's taking shape. And he's just whittling everything out of it that doesn't look like the arrowhead he's wanting.
I'm trying to get some regular
Logan
plate patterns in it and getting some regularity to it.
cost of movement.
my problem is where
That's a problem area, but I've still got some thickness and some width I can.
because I've got to build a quilt
I can deal
house.
with
We've
it.
done decided, if we get the place, we're gonna get rid of Dobby. I got a little girl.
That's coming Come
Willie's
along pretty stinking
little
good.
girl. She loves ducks. She done got rid of them little ducks.
All right, we'll get back with just a little bit more progress.
You can come over and get some more of these ducks. We're getting rid of all the ducks. The ones that don't get got
Pretty cool.
Or dinner.
are dinner.
Make sure I get that. This one's got a line in it
A little bit, yeah.
all the way through it.
Well, it'd be a good thing if I get
It's
it.
on both sides. It was all the way through. And I was asking him if that was a weak spot, but he said in this particular stone, Novaculite, that it's not a problem. It's just part of the stone. But it can be in different kinds of stone.
Yeah, it's a good time for it. We're fixing to do the notch.
There's another 30-minute update. He's got an hour and 15-ish minutes in it now. Pretty stinking cool. Checking again now. He's getting it notched out.
I'm gonna call it at that.
It's kind of crazy, man.
It's stupid. Ain't crazy.
That is, that's,
man make a arrowhead out of a rock.
Telltale banding shows that it's the
Yep.
one we were working on earlier.
It's beautiful. I mean, why would you even want to shoot that? Hang it up on the wall.
Shoot it and then hang it up.
That'd be awesome.
See, that's why
from that to that.
things you won't put that down.
That is just
Could you possibly get 2 out of that one if you were careful?
If I was really careful, and really, really wanted to, I'd have to get rid of these square edges. Just like what we see on an actual artifact. We gotta get rid of that, so we gotta do this zigzag pattern. With that, I could probably set up right here and take out a smaller one there and then get a larger one out of this side. If I was good enough.
So yes, is the quality.
Everything cool. Have you still got to sharpen that one?
No, I haven't sharpened anything yet.
He'll come
We'll
back
just-
and sharpen them up before we measure them along my arrows.
I can take one of the ones you're not gonna mess with too much, and I can sharpen it.
That's pretty cool. And that's
You
the
look, oh, he's in there.
the first processes of sticking a traditional arrow and head through a bear. Pretty cool. Okay, he's sharpening now. What is the tool you're using there?
That's just a piece of antler. It's been split. That would be the inside pithy part. I'm using the outside of it, and I taper that down to an edge. And I'll use it just like that right there. And I'll find these little microscopic platforms on here, or high spots. And I'll put it on it. I'll push in, and I'll pull down. And it takes off a small amount right off the edge. And I'll just continue finding those, pushing down and taking off a small amount.
It's creating serrations like a steak knife, isn't it?
Yeah.
Razor sharp steak knife. When you start the other side, you start at the bottom and come up.
Yeah, some people start at the point, which is probably a good idea.
That's gotta be scary doing the point.
It gets iffy.
You use different pressures when you get out there where it gets thinner.
Yeah, you want to use just a little bit less. So there's what we've cleaned off of it. That is all we need to do. So turn it over. And this is just like a single bevel modern broadhead now. There's no need to do both sides of the same side. You can just do one. Just putting pressure on it and comes straight down. I'm not trying to drive a flake off. Long, I'm just creating an edge. Right here, I want to support the tip. So I don't want to put any bending stresses on it. And that is plenty sharp.
Oh yeah.
I could come back and brush it and take the serrations off, but I think that actually reduces the cutting ability on it.
The serrations.
Yeah. This little spot back here, this edge was actually turned the other way, so I need to a little bit different. Go from the other side with this one.
That's crazy interesting to me.
Now we're sharp all the way to the back. You get a close-up of it, it actually looks like a shark's tooth.
Yeah. That's the weighted, I suppose, the 132.
Yeah, that was the original weight of the point.
That is just cool. And he's got it sinewed on. Is that a glue you made?
No, that is
That one?
some modern practice point glue, hot melt glue for archery. The only reason I used that is just because I didn't want to have to change this glue every 20 or 30 shots. It'll last a lot longer.
And with the glue that you make, what is the process of making that glue that you make?
It's pretty simple. You just take some pine tree sap, melt it, add in some charcoal, and that's about it.
Huh.
The charcoal stabilizes it where it doesn't melt and run out when it gets in the sunlight as bad. It still will, but
It's part of the process.
yeah,
Just
it's
redo
part of
it.
the process.
Oh.
It's primitive arrows are kind of constant maintenance.
Well, the next time you see one of these arrows, we'll be sitting in a bear stand fixing to run one through a bear or bear blind. We're trying to figure out what we're going to shoot from the ground or a blind. Blind will make our angle better. Avoid as many bones. Bears got thick bones. Want to avoid all of them we can. All right, appreciate you guys watching.